morning and thanks for waking up with us. It's Wednesday, July 11th. I'm Lauren Barnes.
I'm Joe Moreno here with you for the next 2 hours to take you through as you start off your hump day here, nearing the middle of July as well.
Yes, yeah, that's right. Wow, it goes by quick.
Let's check in, though, as we do every morning with Elisa Raffa. She is in the Weather Lab and brings us our forecast first on this Wednesday morning.
Good morning, guys. It's going to be hot out there today. We've got a heat advisory in effect for parts of central Missouri, up from about Stockton Lake to Lake of the Ozarks. That's where we'll have the heat index values up to 105, but really doesn't mean the rest of the area is going to be cool. We'll all be pretty hot out there today. Right now, it's very warm and muggy, 72 degrees in Branson. We've got clear skies and calm winds. Temperatures are in the 70s at 72 in Springfield, 71 in Fort Leonard Wood, and 75 in Ava. Dew points are already in the upper 60s and lower 70s. That's really oppressive. It feels thick out there. You can feel the air. We're humid and oppressive already this morning and will continue to do so as we head through the day. Green light conditions, maybe an isolated storm, but it wouldn't slow you down. Just hot and humid. Be careful with those cars. At the pool, lots of sunshine, but again, very hot and humid. Temperature up to 96 by 3 o'clock with a very high to extreme UV index. At the barbecue, sizzling both on the grill and outside, still at 86 degrees at 8 o'clock, 81 at 10 with mostly clear skies. You guessed it, the heat is going to be the main story that we're talking about here in weather. A long stretch of 90s coming before storms return next week. Your full forecast is in 10 minutes.
This morning's political coverage, President Donald Trump kicks off a high-stakes trip around Europe today. During the NATO summit, he's expected to push for more equal defense spending and fairer trade. Then he travels to the UK for a meeting with Prime Minister Theresa May. But as CBS's Laura Podesta reports, it's the president's final stop, a Helsinki summit with Vladimir Putin, that's raising concerns.
President Trump met with NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg this morning in Brussels.
I think the Secretary General likes Trump. He may be the only one, but that's okay with me.
Stoltenberg thanked the president for pushing other countries to increase their defense spending.
Your message is having an impact.
The two-day NATO summit is the first major gathering of Western countries since the G7 in Canada, where President Trump clashed with the other leaders. While leaving the White House yesterday, the president wasted no time complaining that member nations pay too little on defense spending.
NATO has not treated us fairly, but I think we'll work something out.
So far this year, only 5 of 29 NATO countries, including the U.S., spent 2% of their gross domestic product on defense, the NATO standard. There is concern about the last leg of the president's trip, both abroad and at home.
And I have Putin. Frankly, Putin may be the easiest of them all. Who would think?
What would be really disastrous would be for us to have a negative NATO meeting and then do something with Putin that further destabilizes the relationship.
President Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin meet in Helsinki, Finland next week. Laura Podesta, CBS News, New York.
President Trump would not say if Putin is a friend or foe, instead calling him, quote, a competitor. He's scheduled to have tea with Queen Elizabeth before meeting with Putin.
Some local news for you this morning. In Taney County, people had a chance to share their thoughts on a proposed highway project. County officials and engineers were at Hollister High School to hear comments and questions there, as it was a 3-hour open house looking at sketches of the proposed $25 million highway project. This will create an alternate route from Highway 65 to BB Highway near Hollister High School. Herbert Sisko, who's a Hollister resident, told us he understands the challenges that engineers face.
We would like to have almost a straight shot from Kirbyville into the Hollister area, but due to the terrain, bridges fill in, they just simply don't have the money to get rid of the Coon Creek Road.
And we reported last month the challenge for the county will be securing funding. Officials and engineers plan to apply for a grant to help with the cost, though. The project would have to be started by September of 2020 and finished by December of 2025.
So you're right to know this morning that the Senior County Sheriff's Office is asking for your help in finding this missing teen. 15-year-old Clarice Yunt has been missing since July 7th after an incident at a home in Stockton, Missouri. She's believed to be with 21-year-old Jason Holloway, possibly in Bolivar, El Dorado Springs, or the Stockton area. If you know where Clarice is, you're asked to call police right away.
A group of people are planning to protest in front of the Dallas County Prosecutor's Office today after they say not enough has been done in the death investigation of a 2-year-old. Kinsley Kilgore was found dead inside a home in Buffalo, Missouri last May. Since her death, family and friends have started an online Facebook group called Justice for Kinsley. The group believes that Kenneth Davis has something to do with her death. Last week, Greene County Prosecutor Dan Patterson told us he is a suspect. However, Davis has not been charged with Kinsley's murder, but currently is in jail on other child abuse charges. Protesters are planning to be outside the office of Dallas County Prosecuting Attorney Barbara Vetz this morning at 10 o'clock with signs trying to push for more information on Kinsley's death. However, Vetz released a statement saying her staff is still waiting for a complete investigation. Until that time, there won't be any new reports, photos, or statements released. After the evidence is reviewed, a charging decision will be made.
We have a follow-up story for you now. The woman injured in a fire at a fireworks manufacturing facility last week has passed away. Today, we're hearing from her mother. That's Tracy Livingston, mom to Samantha Dean Wood, the woman trapped inside AM Pyrotechnics on Tuesday, July 3rd. She says her daughter, who was supposed to be the lead pyrotechnician on the Springfield Cardinals 4th of July fireworks show, went in that night to prep. The fire would land at Dean Wood in the Mercy Burn unit for the next 7 days, where her mother would watch her struggle to survive. Eventually, she described to Color 10 she had to make the call to end her daughter's suffering.
I'm gonna say it was harder for her to fight for her life because of the fact of all the pain that she was gonna endure. I told them to stop and let her be at peace.
Along with her mother, Samantha is survived by her fiance as well as her 8-month-old son, Tanner.